Another tough one here. Thought our kids played their tails off. There's no quitting our guys. I can guarantee you that. A little shorthanded offensively. I thought defense played solid. Gave up a couple of big passes. Grayson played really well for them. He was accurate and made the throws with some play action passes at times. But you look at defense, give up 13 in the first half. We had a pick six before the end of the half on a mesh charge on the quarterback. And, give up 7 there. But you give up 13 in the first half, 14 in the second half defensively. And again, that was a critical turnover right before the half for a touchdown. One of the big guys took it back there. So obviously didn't play good enough to win the football game. But proud of our guys, the way they play, the way they fight. There's a lot of teams that like to be bowl eligible right now. And I know our guys weren't satisfied with just 7 wins in bowl eligible. But it is an accomplishment based on what we did last year compared to where we were this year. And again, we got the injury bug, as you guys know. Des wasn't here today. I thought that was critical, not having him. Probably the number one playmaker. Kanate had a heck of a game. Gavin played well. But really, Nate Yarnell got banged up in the first series of the game. The entire game, he's over there with his, I think, when we went out there, he said, I think I broke my wrist. That's what he felt like. But he is a tough son of a gun, and I appreciate, again, our players' effort. They fought their tails off, and as a head football coach, all I can ask for is our guys to play as hard as they can. And again, they gave us as coaches all we asked for, and we came up a little bit short today. Questions?
How did that interception, I guess that pick six, change momentum? You guys have cut it to 3 points.
Yeah, it changed momentum. It's a pick six. It was a mesh charge by number 6. He's a hell of a football player, as I told you on Monday. He wreaked havoc in the backfield and made plays. He just mesh charged off the edge. We had a pulling guard to come get him. He couldn't get there in time to get him. I wish Nate would have just handed the ball off. When you look at it, you got to feel that end is up the field, and you don't want to keep the ball in your hand, hand it off. I think the tailback would have gone for a ways, because the end's rushing up the field so hard. But there's a momentum change, but it didn't change how our guys played. At halftime, they were outstanding. They were good, and again, our guys came out and fought in the second half.
You feel like you were able to steal a little bit of that momentum back at the beginning of the second half? You could turn over on downs and then score.
Yeah. We had 2 great turnovers on downs. The fourth down, and again, I think we got to turn back around. But we just didn't make enough plays. Unfortunate. Again, I don't think Nate played great, but I don't think he was healthy. So I appreciate his effort coming out there and giving it like Nate plays his tail off. The guy played banged up. I didn't think he'd come back. I thought we'd have played the rest of the game with David Lynch in there or Ty Diefenbach. So, but he played and just wasn't good enough. Yeah, I think he did a solid job. He's a freshman. He hadn't had a carry going into the game. He played 12 snaps a week ago. We knew we were going to have to lean on him and Derek Davis. We traveled with 3 tailbacks. I looked out there in pregame and watching 3 tailbacks with 6 quarterbacks, and 3 quarterbacks didn't have anybody to hand it off to in pregame. I'm like, holy cow! I knew we only had 3, but when I saw that, I was like, what's going on here? With the Daniel Carter and Dez being down. And Rodney being out. So, that's the way it is.
Coach, you did mention the bowl eligibility. You had
the what?
Bowl eligibility.
Yes.
The ups and downs of the season. How do you assess kind of the full regular season
as a whole? Success. We won 3 games a year ago. I think they picked us 13th in the conference. I don't think we finished 13th. Again, I'm always going to look at the glass is half full and not empty. Our kids fought their tails off. Again, I don't think in all my 36 years of coaching, I've ever seen so many injuries. It starts with the guys up front, and we've been banged up on the O-line all year since the Cal game. Really, I don't think we've been the same as far as what we could put out on the field. So we got to shore that up, get ready for a bowl game, get healthy, number one, and bring the troops together.
What led you to go Jackson tackle in the second half over
I think both of them played. I think they were,
Isaiah was in the first half, and then Jackson seemed like came in the second.
Yeah, I think they were both in the first half too. I think they both played. I know our plan going in was to kind of almost go by series. We're just going to give them both a chance. They're neck and neck as far as what they did in practice, and we want to see how both of them did, and we'll see which one played better. Whoever played better will start the bowl game. I'm almost positive they played. They rotated in the first half too. I may be wrong. You guys hopefully are looking from the booth there, wherever you guys are sitting. But I'm almost positive they both played early.
You guys let up some big plays today. Did you see anything defensively? There's been a lot of them taking.
Yeah. Again, they took some shots. They max protected on us, and again put our safeties on an island at times. Even the last touchdown at the end, we got a guy in the middle of the field. Javon goes for the ball on Morales' touchdown catch, but you hope he just explodes and blows the guy up, flips him upside down. That's what I would have done. So I was a safety if I was athletic enough to be a safety. But I think he went for the ball instead of just break that thing up. I think he thought it was thrown at him. They're usually throwing it to somebody else, but it's part of the game. But Javon got beat inside one time on number 4 is a good football player from Montana. They got a steal with that guy. He's a big athletic guy. He had a heck of a catch as well down in the second half on Battle, and Battle was right there. I mean, it was great coverage, and the kid came down with it. Battle's an inch away from just knocking that ball out. I mean, he came up through the pocket. So those are the ones I can think of. The Morales in the middle of the field when we got a middle of the field player. Battles in the fourth quarter, and the one by Javon. With the kid running across his face. We got to protect the inside and let him throw 7 routes.
Kanate had a big day. Kenny also had some nice catches. I mean, what led to getting more of those guys this week?
Just where the ball's supposed to go. Kenny's a football player. Kanate, he had a heck of a catch. I wish he'd have caught that one more at the end, right? Down on the sideline at 7 route was a heck of a throw by Nate with playing with a bad wrist or whatever, but that was a heck of a throw. Again, our guys continue to play, but those are 2 really good football players. It was good to get those 2 and Gavin really involved.
Do those conversations about what players plan to do next year start as soon as you guys get back to Pittsburgh?
Say that again?
Do those conversations about what guys are going to start doing next year with the portal opening so soon?
Yeah, I'm not worried about that. I mean, I think our team is together. There's nothing I can control in that. I'm going to coach a football team, and it goes as it goes. Everybody's got decisions to make, and as we do. But I think our kids are pretty tight, and love playing at Pitt.
You guys started to move the ball a little bit better towards the end of the first half. Were there any major adjustments that you guys made that allowed?
Well, we're always making adjustments. We didn't run the ball well enough. I mean, we rushed for 26 yards or 23 yards, whatever it was. I mean, we just didn't, rush the football like we need to. You can't get in a drop back game. Number 6 is lined up, as Coach Darvo said, in a 16 technique. There's no such thing. He's way out there where EJ is on the offensive tackle. We've got to be able to run the ball when they want to line up like that, and we weren't able to. So we'll go back and look at the tape and say why didn't we? And again, big reason, is your number 1 playmaker in that backfield, number 0, wasn't there. He'll be ready for a bowl game.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely started out hot, but it's just one of those things where we couldn't find a groove. And it's something as an offense that, I take a little bit of responsibility for sure. Just trying to get those guys going and just couldn't get it done.
Coach just talked about Nate's fight the last couple of weeks and just his ability to kind of play through injuries and stuff like that. What have you seen, just from being in the huddle with him?
Yeah. No, I mean, Nate's a tough-ass kid. He's one of the toughest kids I know. Whenever he goes in, normally there's some guys down, so he's doing the best he can with what we got, and he did a tremendous job. I mean, he never gave up.
What maybe was working for you guys? I mean, you were able to move the ball a little bit and put the ball in the end zone a couple times. What did you feel like worked today?
Yeah, I mean, when same stuff every week. When we execute and everyone does their 1 of 11, things seem to go pretty good. But all it takes is one guy or one missed block. I mean, I had to drop on a big 3rd down that I gotta have, and I wish I can get that back. But it's just coming down and doing the little things right.
Coach talked about him a little bit earlier this week, but their defensive end, Donovan, number 6. What type of challenge was he today?
Yeah, no, he's definitely a good DN. He's probably one of the best ones I faced this year. He's good with his hands. He's quick, and he did a good job.
What did Joel show you? Taking on such a big role, one that he hadn't had before.
Yeah, no, I mean, I thought Joel stepped up to the plate. I mean, he knew he was going to get a shot. I thought he did a tremendous job all week, really all season. He's always prepared like he was going to start. He finally got his name called, and, he definitely did a good job.
Those couple scoring drives for you guys, was it just execution that started to click as you were able to move the ball down the field?
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, we realized that, we could drive the ball and move down the field and score. But, like I said, you just got to execute. And once we got that momentum going, I thought we were going pretty good.
Did you have a view of what happened on that
No, I didn't really get to see it. I was playing.
You've got to play with Canante for a couple years now. He comes up and has a big game. Just what you see from him today?
Yeah, I mean, Kanante, he's my guy. We've been here for 3 years now since he came in, and his growth is tremendous, and he's a hell of a ball player and a hell of a person, and he's going to do great things.
In the passing game, it was tough. I would say what I noticed, we gotta have to go look through and watch the film and everything. But I know the QB he liked to hang up the ball, So that's always the toughest way to cover someone whenever you're waiting there and you don't know where the ball is, but the ball is sitting there. So we had some PIs and everything, so that was tough. But in the pass game, we felt like we had them to a point. They had a few plays, but like I said, we're gonna have to watch film to make sure we can correct all that.
How do you kind of reflect on a season that started with 7 wins but ends with 5 losses, regular season at least?
Oh, it's tough. It's tough. It's definitely heartbreaking, So because you work so hard, to get to the point where we were 7-0, and then things just the ball just didn't bounce our way, in the past 5 games. So I don't think it's a lack of effort or anything like that. It's just sometimes it's a game of football. There's a winner and there's a loser. And we just didn't come off on the right side. So obviously it's sad, it's upsetting, and like I said, it's sad and upsetting. But yeah.
Just kind of keep with that. I mean, injuries piled up as well, along with those losses. I mean, how do you guys kind of keep your head when
Right.
it keeps you guys going down?
Like I said, when it comes down to it, the ball didn't bounce our way, and that's just not like when it comes to actual football. Like it's with injuries to anything. Like there's times where there might be a ball that bounces back in, and you're like, oh, how is that even happening? It just didn't bounce our way. So with injuries, it was upsetting, but we didn't make it bother us. But it's always tough to win games whenever you have guys going down. So.
Reed Harris, number 4, he had a couple of pretty good plays today. Just what did you see from him as a playmaker kind of standpoint?
Yeah, he's a good player. He's a long strider. Definitely one of probably, if not the fastest player on the field today. Like I said, he had some good plays. We had some times where panic a little bit in coverage, but that was from ball off and up there. It's tough. That's the hardest thing to do is cover. Whenever you're covering someone and you have them covered, but that ball is up there, you're trying to play hands. Like I said, you can't find the ball. So you're trying to play hands. You're trying to be patient. You're running full speed. You got to slow down and try your best to. So I think he had a few good catches, but other than that, he's a good player. But other than that, I feel like it was handled to the most part. But he had that really good touchdown. It was a great catch. So.